Welcome back to Sincerely Janae. I know it's been a while, but today I'm here to talk to you about love. If you're interested in seeing how I achieved this hairstyle, just stay tuned to the end. So I've been thinking about love a lot lately, and not just romantic love, but love between a parent and a child, love between friends, even love between strangers, people that you don't even know, with your coworkers, love just in general. And I think the reason for that is just look around. Look at when you watch the news, when you hear about things that are happening between people in their personal relationships, and just globally, there is a lack of love. And just because of who I am and just the way that my brain works, I started thinking about love and how I view love, how I want people to show me love, and how I want to show love to other people. And most importantly, how do I show love to myself? And so, I really didn't have like a strict definition. Like I had some thoughts about it, but it wasn't anything concrete. And so I decided to do some research, and I went to the Bible just because that's just what I do. And I found a scripture that is very popular when talking about love, and that's a already established definition that I could kind of use as a baseline to determine what my definition of love was. And so when I did that, I was just really surprised at what I found, because I really broke the scripture down so that I could understand what it was saying. And so the scripture is 1 Corinthians 13. The verses are 4-8. Very popular scripture. And even if you are someone who doesn't read the Bible, even when I get into like the definitions of the words, it all just kind of to me, it makes a lot of sense. So hopefully in doing this will help you kind of think about how you love people and think about how you want people to show love to you, in hopes of, bettering our interactions, improving our interpersonal relationships, because we need some serious work. But anyway, so the scripture, so I have my notes here, so that's why I'm looking down. But the scripture starts off by saying love is patient. So patient is a word that we use all the time that I just assumed, that I know what patience means. I have a 2-year-old. I always tell her to be patient. But I went to the dictionary and I wanted to look up all these words to make sure that I actually knew what they meant. And so patient means bearing pains or trials calmly or without complaint. So how many times do you wait, but then in that time of waiting, you're complaining about waiting? That's not being patient. Love is also kind. Kind, another very simple word that, be kind to people, be kind to yourself. Kind actually means of a sympathetic or helpful nature. So love is kind. It does not boast. So boast means to speak of or assert with excessive pride. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. Proud is having or displaying excessive self-esteem. So, a lot of times we're in relationships and we're thinking about what we need out of the relationship and not necessarily what the other person needs. Love doesn't do that. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It is not easily angered. Think about that for a second. Let's move on. It keeps no record of wrongs. So if you love someone and they do something that's not favorable, they don't talk about it for the rest of your life. They let it go. They forgive you. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. To cover or shield from exposure, injury, damage, or destruction. So if you love someone, you should be saving them from those things. You should be protecting them. Love always trusts. Assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone. Love always trusts. Love always hopes. Hopes is to desire with expectation of obtainment or fulfillment. It always perseveres. To persist in a state, enterprise, or undertaking in spite of counter influences, opposition, or discouragement. Love perseveres, no matter what. Love never fails. So that really opened my eyes and just kind of got my wheels turning a little bit, thinking about, okay, Janae, how are you showing love to yourself, number one, with all that in mind, being patient, being kind, trusting myself, persevering, protecting myself. How do you do that for other people? And how do you want people to show love to you? And I think the real issue is that, we don't know what love is. So how are you supposed to display an action when you really don't know what it means? So if you don't love yourself, you allow people to mistreat you. And because people don't love each other, we mistreat each other. So it's just like an endless cycle. So that was it. I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts. Not share my thoughts, but share what I learned and researching and trying to find a definition of love in hopes that, you will start to think about how you love people, how you love yourself, and how you want people to love you. So moving forward, let's just do a better job with loving each other, but just be active in love, active in being kind, and active in improving the relationships that you have with yourself and others. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please subscribe because there will be more coming from Sincerely Janae in the near future. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you soon. So about this hair, this is a perm rod set on blown out hair. These are the products and the tools that I used. I only needed 2 products. As far as the amount of setting lotion, you don't want to use a lot of setting lotion because you don't want your hair to revert. And then I used the Shea yogurt right after that, using a hard bristle brush to smooth out my medium-sized section, and then I start the rolling process. So the best way that I can explain this is you start off rolling your hair around the rod, and as you get closer to your root, you roll the rod around the hair. So this way you get a spiral curl at the end and more of a wave at the top. And so I'm going to show this process one more time. So this is how it looks when it's done, and I left them in overnight. This is the next day, and so I am going to remove the rods. So try not to disturb the curl as you remove them, but as you can see, it's a very fluffy, defined curl. And this is a style this is like something you want to do for special occasions. I could only wear my hair like this for 2 days, and the second day it was much bigger. So this is something that you want to do when you're trying to be a little fancy. So now I am applying Shea yogurt. to add a little bit of shine and to help when I start the fluffing process to make sure that I don't create a lot of unnecessary frizz. And so I'm going in and separating each curl one time. So depending on how big you want your hair to be, you can fluff your hair a little bit more. But like I said, I needed this to last for 2 days. And so I only separated the curl once. So this is what we're working with. This is so soft and fluffy and beautiful. I'll definitely be trying this style again. But if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.